بها يا الله بها يا الله بحسن الخاتمة.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بفضل الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربي أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. صدق الله العلي العظيم. We are one of the days that are one of the daughters of the Prophet and the closest daughter of the Prophet and the only daughter of the Prophet that survived after the death of the Prophet. She is by the names of Fatima Zahra. She was born on the 5th year after the migration to Medina, and in times like this, her demise arrived. She is of a great virtue that me, with a loose tongue of mine and a sinful character of mine, can't really merge her characters or her level or her uphold that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed upon her. But that doesn't mean that I don't have to try, at least trying to reach the levels, at least trying to reach her benevolence through my little words and through my little encompassation that can surround her. It is of the cause that an ocean is very large and its magnitude cannot be described upon any living thing. But that doesn't mean that we have to fail to be a river that delivers us into the ocean. So Fatima Zahra is an ocean of being. She's an ocean of character. She's an ocean of how she was raised up. But that doesn't mean that I don't have to seek that which she carries. I have to find a mean within my ability to try to structure her being. She is indeed not one of the kind, because we learn from the narrations of the Prophet. By the time he was sent to Isra wal Mi'raj, from there he was given a gift of a fruit that he ate from there. With that fruit, it was constructed a sperm duct of which this malevolent, of this super higher being was created from. And then we learn even from the Prophet that whenever he felt like having a smell of that fruit of which he had in paradise, he could go nearby Fatima Zahra. So, a daughter of a prophet is not a daughter of any other human being, because the prophet is on the levels of which no any other human being can reach, be it angels, be it fellow prophets, or be it any being that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ever created. This makes Fatima Zahra also be not of any other being. From that we also learn that the Prophet taught us that there are 4 of the majestic beings, of the majestic ladies that has ever lived. With them we have Asiya, With them we have Maryam. With them we have even Fatima Zahra. So what comes from the Prophet also has a higher level. We learn from Ilm Nahu that what is known, when added to what is known when added to what is unknown, the unknown becomes the known. So the Prophet has a kid, or has a baby, or has a child who is Fatima Zahra. When we know the Prophet, and when we really attribute his features, we can really know who Fatima Zahra is. And that's why, of all the four ladies that have the highest character, that have the highest rank in the world, Fatima Zahra emerges as the Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen. So, is it that Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen because she is a daughter of the Prophet? Or is she a Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen because she deserves it? We have to know that Fatima Zahra, her being and her living in this world really makes her to be deserving. When we learn of her piety, that's why she's called Tahira. When we learn of how she was a wife to Amir al-Mu'minin Ali alayhi salam, when we learn how she acted as a daughter in front of the Prophet, and when we learn how she acted as a mother to her kids Hassan and Hussein, and to us all humans, she acts as a perfect example of how we should live, and also a perfect example of how we shouldn't live. Whoever is watching this video, or whoever my voice can reach to, we have to know that Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen carries both her being and her being from the best of the being, who is the Prophet. There are some narrations, or there are some sayings that come and say that Maryam might be a prophet as well. From those who say that there has to be a prophet, come and say that the level of a prophet is not the level of a same, is not the level of the rest of mankind that aren't. But we have to know that the Prophet named her Sayyidatu Nisa'il Alameen without looking at who was before her. Let it be a Nisa who was a prophet or not. This is not our time to discuss whether they were a prophet or not. But for example, they were. Even that being Fatima Zahra is above it. It can be of a wonder. How can a normal human being be of a rank above the Prophet? Yeah. We learn even from the narrations from the Prophet that ulama ummati khairu min anbiya. The scholars of my time are better than the prophets that were before. So Fatima Zahra isn't a wonder to rank her be above, because me and you, we can't compare our level, our rank, our being like that of Fatima Zahra. We have to learn it in the Holy Quran that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has never in any way revealed that he has given the Prophet something worthy. But only in one ayah, when he says, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرُضَى. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant you that of which you will be really gratitude of. What was one of the best things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave Fatima Zahra, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Prophet? He, or Fatima Zahra, was. We learn that even she became not only a daughter of the Prophet, but she became a part of the Prophet. That's why the Prophet says, Fatima bil'atu minni. Fatima is of my flesh. And this flesh, we have to know that bil'a is of the kind that when one doesn't have it, his life isn't. That's a heart. So Fatima is of my heart. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that we are going to give you something that you will be gratitude of, there's an ayah of which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned what that is. Inna a'atoynakal kawthar. We gave you Kawthar. I really don't have enough time to define what Kawthar really is. But one of the things that we learn Kawthar is Fatima to herself. So we learn that even the Kawthar being herself, she is flowing, as others say that Kawthar is a river. She is flowing. So the flowing is continuous. The sons, the grandsons, and up to now, to the Mahdi that we're waiting, is one of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the Prophet that he was so gratitude of, that is ever living. And that's why the ayah ends with Inna shani'aka huwal abtar. Those that make fun of you are those that don't have any generations to come. When we talk about Fatima, there is no time that is enough for us. But as for today, we beg to end here, and we send our condolences to the Imam of the time, Imam Mahdi. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.